I was waiting. I'm like, is it going? Is it live? Because the thing's not going yet. There it goes. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is doing well. I hope your week has been good. It is now Friday. Amazing how fast the time flies when you're having fun, right? Man, the weather was crazy interesting down here today. Now, we did not get the snow. I will tell you that right now. We didn't get any snow, but man, we got a little bit of hail, strong winds today. And the other part of the plastic on the chicken run actually busted loose, and I did fix that one real quick. The other one's off completely, so that one's gonna wait till tomorrow. So I'm gonna work on that tomorrow to get that one squared away. But yeah, just unbelievable, crazy. Like I said, just the weather was just crazy. The winds were unbelievable today. And the weird part was, and you didn't realize it, so it was like 42 degrees down here today. But because of the winds, it was just ripping through you, and it felt much colder, much colder. So, not a great time. Getting hammered with snow in the middle of Michigan. Well, what we have to remember, folks, as well, it is January. So, I mean, the reality is we're going to have not great weather in January wherever you are, in country for the most part, unless you're in Florida, you know. But yeah, it's I know they're talking about the next storm coming in here next week, and I know we're getting ready to get to deal with some single digit temperatures here. And I showed in my video that I did earlier today. I redid the window, and that's like the window back here on the camper is the biggest window on the camper. And so I'm like, man, I know it's going to get cold. I got to get this squared away. So I farted around with that last night. It probably took me an hour and a half. So now the only thing I have left to do, the plastic on this window over here is maintained and stayed up, but I have my felt has fallen down. So I got to clear out like all my crap here and move it over there, and then get in here and fix that. I will absolutely do that before this really super cold weather comes in, just to try to button things up a little bit more. So I'd go and sleep in Mark's deer blanket. If I had to, guys, if it ever got that bad, I absolutely would do that. Mark has no problem. He's said many times, if anybody needed to, they could sleep in the deer blind. So, that's. But how cold is it expected to get when it comes through? Actually, I'll tell you right now what our forecast is here. I can tell you in just a moment. Yeah, like tonight's not going to be bad. It's actually we're going to be in the 30s overnight, and then like tomorrow morning we're going to start out colder. It's going to be, yeah. Look, we're looking at tomorrow like during the day a high of 27. It's going to be warmer tonight through the night than it is going to be tomorrow. Once we get, let's see. All right, so like Tuesday, we got a high of 22 on Tuesday and a low of 4 overnight. On Wednesday, we're looking at a high of 19 with an 11 overnight. Then we get into next weekend. On Friday, we're looking at a high of 24 with a low of 8. On Saturday, it's a high of 14 with a low of 5. And then on Sunday, a high of 18 with a low of 3. So that's probably going to be the coldest that we've had here, this winter. But again, I mean, it's wintertime. That's what happens. So now, like I said, again, the winds today that's the killer. The winds are. I don't mind the cold so much, but when that wind is blowing, and it's cutting through you, not a whole lot of fun. Not a whole lot of fun. So what I did, again, in preparation today, I went out and got more bedding for the chickens, and I put like a half a bag, the big bags of the wood pine shavings from Tractor Supply. Put them in there, and Hella's doing great. She's doing absolutely fine. She's in there, actually in here laying down right now. Yeah, she's in her bed. I'm just checking, making sure she's in her bed and not on my bed. But so anyway, oh, a couple things I did want to mention. We're going to get into the topic here shortly, guys. We're at 268 in the chat. We're at 86 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that ahead of time. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms as well. So I thank you for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon, get all notifications as well. I see Philip's in the chat coming at us from Melbourne. So welcome, Philip. Couple things I wanted to mention really quickly. I talked about the Buddy heater tank unit they put on top of a 20-pound tank. I talked about that in my video earlier. I just want you to know a couple things, okay? I have no endorsement deal with them whatsoever. If I find something that works or something that doesn't work well, I'm going to tell you. Like the Mr. Buddy heaters that you have, they have a tendency to kick off and they shut off. So that's an issue. With those other ones, they work very, very well. And that's what I was sharing with you guys. So I don't want you to think, oh, he's just pushing this product because he's got some kind of an endorsement deal. I don't. I'm going to always share with you what works, what doesn't work. The best, I'm telling you, the best tested method for anything is practical practice, putting it into play. Does this work? Does not work? I have found through the years, you figure out what's good and what's not good. Buddy heaters burn way too much fuel for the cost. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, those other heaters with the ones on top, they work fantastic. They work absolutely fantastic. So, but anyway, so yeah, so that's I just wanted to put that out there so people understood. Talk about something else too, and you know I've touched on this a little bit in the past, so I'm going to talk about it a little bit now as well. So you get a lot of people get real super gung ho about living off grid. Oh, I'm going to go live off grid. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's going to be great. It's going to be whatever. Your grid can handle electric blanket. Yeah, I don't use electric blankets, JJ. I layer. That's what I do. When I go to sleep at night, I'll tell you what, I actually sweat when I'm sleeping, and I keep it colder in the camper on purpose just because I would rather bundle up in a bunch of blankets than I've never used an electric heater blanket, and I don't want to. That's just my personal preference. But so what I was going to tell you is going off grid. There's this big fantasy with a lot of people about living off grid. Well, the reality is this: living off grid ain't for the faint of heart, folks. It's a lot of work. It's not easy. There's always something that you have to do, something that you have to take care of. There's maintenance on stuff that you have to do. There's preparation. Yeah, hell is a big spoon. Yeah, she likes to get up in bed with me sometimes, but not for sleeping overnight. Not happening. Um, it's a lifestyle choice. Okay, now most people are going to opt out for the easy, for the convenient. They don't want to live that lifestyle. I have seen firsthand many people, all gung ho about living off grid, and then when reality hits, it's not fun. It's not this fantasy. It's not this great time that they thought it was going to be. I've always looked at it this way. Okay, now I've been living off grid for 9 years, so and if you get a ton of snow this winter, can you get out or will you be snowed in? Good question. And honestly, I don't know, to be honest with you, until I face that situation. I may end up having to, I may end up having to be snowed in for a few days before I could get out. I have no idea. Until I'm faced with that situation, I don't know. I know that the road gets dicey when we get snow up there, and if we get a lot of ice, I'm you know, Ed, you are going to get a foot of snow. I don't know about that. Who knows? We'll see. Foot of snow really wouldn't be that much of a deterrent, to be honest with you. Main roads might not be real good for a while, but if I had to stay home for a day or two, then I stay home for a day or two. It's not that big of a deal to me. I'll tell you right now, I'm not risking my life for anything. So if I feel that it's unsafe, I'm not going anywhere. I'll stay right here. But I want to go back to what I was saying. Uh, no, no, no. See, and here's a misconception that people have. Okay, forest ghost preparedness. He asks, are you putting in a heat source in the chicken coop? Absolutely not. Chickens adjust to the environment. If you put a false source of heat into an environment like that, number one, it's not good. There's a bigger chance that you might end up burning down your chicken coop, and then you lose all your chickens anyway. Chickens are pretty hardy, okay? As long as they can be out of the wind and out of the weather, and they, can be in an area where they can use their own body heat and stuff like that to stay warm, they're going to be okay. So their bodies adjust just like ours adjust. Like when people, if you're from the north and you go down to Florida in the middle of winter and it's 45 degrees and you're walking around in a t-shirt, people think you're nuts because they're freezing. Well, for you, 45 feels pretty good because your body has adjusted to that colder temperature. So it's the same thing with chickens. Mark says, I've seen several coops burn from heat lamps. Yeah, it's not a good idea. And it's really not necessary. My chicken coop up in New York, folks, I have never used a heat source for that chicken coop in New York ever. And those chickens are just fine. Now, I made sure that the chicken coop was insulated, that they could stay warm, that way, and they were out of the wind and out of the weather. I think that's an important aspect of that. So just putting that out there. But yeah, they can take the cold better than the heat extreme. Yep, exactly, Mark. Exactly. So, all right. So I want to go back to what I was talking about with living off grid. Okay, and I'm going to tell you a story that when we first got together here as a group, and we had our first official meeting, right? So we had our initial get together in April, and a bunch of people came down. A bunch of people decided, yes, I want to do this. I want to be a member of the group. So we started out, with a group of people, and I told them, "Are you building a coop this weekend?" No, Morning Light, not this weekend. Nope, nope. We got other things that we're going to be focusing on this weekend. So I told them as a group then. I said, "You will see an attrition in this group. You will have some of you that are in this group right now that will be here for the long term. You're not going anywhere. You're going to be staying in the group. You're never leaving." I said, then you're going to see other people come and go. You're going to see people leave the group that you didn't expect to leave the group. You're going to see other people, for a myriad of reasons. See, here's what I find happens, okay? So once people come down here to the with the group and we do a weekend get together, and especially this time of year, this is not going to be a super pleasant weekend for people to be down here, but people are here already, and there's more people coming in tomorrow. But there's still things are going to have to be done regardless of the weather, whatever's going on, things still have to be done. Well, what I find, and I think this happens in general with people, uh, a lot of people will realize, holy crap, this is hard work, this is not what I want to do. And then what they end up doing, they make other excuses. They'll use work, they'll use family, whatever the case may be, for the reason why they're going to leave the group. It's not because I don't want to do it, it's because these other obligations are pulling me away. But what it comes down to, um, what it comes down to is, you'll have people that just don't want to do it. They realize it's more work. The fantasy is that it's this exciting thing, but the reality is when you're prepping and you're trying to get a property squared away and ready, it's not easy, and it is hard work. We sat around. Mark is one of the guys too. We sat around last winter here in January, and we had a canopy up. We had an outdoor fire going. It was snowing, raining, sleeting on us. We were getting soaked. The weather was miserable. It just was not fun. And I remember saying then to the people that were there that particular weekend, I said, I want you to remember something. And they were like, okay. I go, um, this is the worst it's ever going to be. Right now is the worst it's ever going to be. Yeah, it sucked, but great at the same time. Exactly, exactly. But some people's mindset are not in the right place. And I think that it is important for people to be exposed to that, because then you find out who the hackers are and who the non-hackers are. And the non-hackers are going to show themselves. They're going to quit. They're going to quit on you. And they, like I said, again, they'll use every other excuse in the world of why they're quitting, other than that they just don't want to do it. It's not what they thought it was going to be, and stuff like that. Like I said, guys, I've been living off grid for 9 years. So I knew coming down to West Virginia, right? I knew what the suck factor was going to be. I knew ahead of time. I knew it was going to be difficult. It was going to be an adjustment. It was going to be a transition period. But I also knew at the same time, because I've already had the successes in New York, I got something in my eye. I also knew that with hard work and effort, things are going to get better. God, guys, hold on one second. All right. Sorry, it was just something was in that eye and it was driving me crazy. So anyway, um, if this was easy, okay, I'll put it like this: if this was easy, everybody would do it, right? But because it's not easy, if people go, like, I think they said that half of the people, yeah, my eyeballs in there, yeah, something like that was in there. Um, Half the people that attempt to go off grid with inside of 1 year are back living on grid. It might be half, and it might be a little higher percentage than that, because again, it's not easy, and it can suck, and the weather is unforgiving. That's I think that's the one thing that people um, don't take into consideration when they go to try to live off grid, is how difficult it can be, and how it's not the easiest thing in the world, and it does take work, and it takes effort. Where being on grid is easy, right? Everything is there, all the conveniences is there. You don't have to worry about anything, and so and you get stung by bees. Yeah, that happens too. Yep. So I moved semi off grid temporarily, and dang, I didn't like it. Well, and that, you know what I'm saying? It's not for everybody. It really, really isn't. It really isn't. But again, to me, I, it's a labor of love, okay? Because I don't mind the work that comes along with it. I don't mind doing the things that I have to do. I enjoy it. So I mean, and like I said again, it's just not for everybody. And so there's always going to be the attrition. You're going to have, like I said again, you're going to get people. We've gotten people that have come in, not from the very beginning, but partway through this journey. And I'm going to tell you right now, I can look at them and I can say they're in this for the long haul. Um, you know, they're in it for the long haul, and I know that, and they're not going anywhere. So it's just it's part of what happens. You do this long enough, you realize who's going to hack it and who's not, and that's part of it as well. So, but anyway, it's like like I said, it's all part of it. Risk and reward, I guess, is part of it as well. And it's how bad you want it. What effort are you willing to put in? And if you're not willing to put the effort in, things aren't going to happen. That's a reality. That is a reality. So, anyone else upset that Ed hasn't eaten all the snacks behind him? Oh my God, that's too funny. All I got behind me right now is I got hot chocolate. Oh, that I have eaten all the snacks. Is that what you're saying? Oh, I have eaten all the snacks. I got more. Actually, here. How about this? I'll put this up here so you can see my pita chips. Are you happy? The Pringles went in my stomach, Billy the Kid Norwood. They've been gone for a while. But the thing is, it's like I was actually at the store and I had thought about going and getting more Pringles. Man, they're expensive. I was like, and actually, the other thing I was going to get was more Cheez Its. Cheez Its have gotten outrageous price wise. It's like, holy crap. I was like, you know what? I like Cheez Its. I don't like them that much. So, there's want and need. Do I need it? No. Do I want it? Sure. So, that's always something that can wait for another day. But anyway, if that helps. Okay, Ace. I'm here to please. Well, most of the time. Some people I will never please on this channel, but that's okay. They still watch. They still watch. So, anyway, let's get into what I really want to talk about in this too. I mean, we've been off on this little tangent off here, and that's okay too. So, what do we got? 423 in the chat, guys. We got 180 thumbs up. Again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I do really appreciate it. It does make a huge difference with the algorithms, and thank you so much for that as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So I want to tell you this real quick, and then we're going to get into really digging into what I wanted to talk about. We're out in the pavilion. We just made chili. It was absolutely awesome. Made it on the wood stove. We got the solar lights hooked in there now, and I showed you guys the solar panel. Just turn the remote on. We got lights in there. We also still have the kerosene lanterns going in there as well. So there's plenty of light. It's awesome. I split up a little bit more wood on top of that as well. So we got plenty of wood to burn in there. I'll probably split some more wood up tomorrow as well. And being hooked on grid is hard in the sense it's super expensive. Choose your hard. Well, and again, going off grid is not cheap. I will tell you that right now. Going off grid is not cheap. If you want, I see all these things, and I'm sure you guys have seen the videos. Building my home for $5,000 or whatever the case may be. Okay, well that's horse crap. Can you build something relatively cheaply? You can, but at the same time, getting a decent wood stove in there, getting a wall kit. I'll give you an example. One of the guys in the group today, we just went over to Lowe's, and he bought a wall kit for his wood stove that he bought to bring down. He's brought his wood stove down. So he's like, "Yep, I got to get the wall kit, right?" Well, the wall kit was $429. That's none of the piping, folks. That's strictly the cap for your thing and the kit that goes through the wall so you don't burn your house down. That's $429 for the wall kit. He's going to need probably 2 stacks, the 3-foot long stacks. There's another $110 a piece there, and then he's going to have to get the black pipe for inside, which won't be as expensive, as far as that goes. But yeah, it's just, nothing is cheap. Nothing is easy. But again, it comes down to want and need. What do I want? What do I need? What I always look at it like this. All these little victories, all these little things that we get done, all these little things that we accomplish, it just makes everything else better. And if in a lot of little things getting done add up to it makes one big thing, and it all makes your life better. That's just the way that it is, to be honest with you, and that's just the way that I've always looked at it. So yeah, JJ made that's a good statement. Do your homework before you go off grid. where you're living. What are the county laws? What are the city laws? What are the town laws? What is okay to do? What is not okay to do? All those type of things are really, really important as well. Over my left shoulder, what is that? Ammo? Oh yeah, yeah. The ammo back up here in the corner. Yeah, some more 9 millimeter. I picked that up a little while ago. Here's the thing: you can never have too much ammo. Never have too much ammo. So, all right. So, if you guys, I'm sure everybody's paying attention to what's going on. The U.S. and Great Britain combined together, we just, yep, 9 mil. Yep, that's 9 mil. We just attacked the rebels in Yemen. We did, yep, 2,000 round rule, and there's no such thing as too much. So once you hit that 2,000 rounds, there's no such thing as too much. So so we just attacked those rebels in Yemen that have been firing all those rockets for how long into the Persian Gulf, in the shipping lanes, having a lot of ships divert, weren't sending their ships through that area because they were being attacked and stuff like that, right? So U.S. and Great Britain finally did missiles and plane bombing of those different sites that they say were where the rebels were working and stuff like that. So my question, oh yeah, 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 we wasted them. About time. Exactly. About time. Why did we wait so long? So here's my problem with our current administration and our current government, okay? The first time somebody fired a missile at one of our ships, and I don't care what country it would come from, there needed to be instant retaliation for that provocation. Instantly, immediately. You don't wait months or weeks and then finally do something. You take care of that, you nip it in the butt as quickly as possible. And if other people don't like it, well, they attacked us. What do you expect us to do, right? You expect us to take it? And so, you know, there is I was just reading an article and I want you to think about this. There is the ships that we have out there right now. There's one ship. Usually when these guys go out to sea, they usually do like a 6 month deployment, right? They usually do 6 months out to sea, and then what they end up doing is they'll rotate back, and then another ship will come out and stuff like that. Well, we got a ship out there right now, and I can't remember the name of it. I should have written it down, and I'm sorry that I didn't. But this ship has been out there, was out on another run, and then when the whole thing happened with Israel, we went right to the Red Sea. That ship did. Well, that ship's been out to sea more than 6 months, and they just extended them again. And I'm going to tell you what, a couple things happen with that, okay? Morale goes down the toilet. I'm telling you right now, morale on a ship is huge. You want to keep your people happy. Hey, our 6 months is up. Let's get the heck out of here. Let's get home. Let's leave, and stuff like that. The ship that's ready to be replacing them, still hasn't it's in San Diego. It had gone in for repairs, and it's been in, dry dock, if you will, for like 2 years. They were upgrading stuff, fixing things, and that ship is in the ocean now, but it still hasn't deployed out. And that's the replacement ship. So that other ship is still stuck there. The men and women on that ship are still there for who knows how much longer, in those type of things. And that's not the way that it should be. We should not be in a situation where our troops are burned out and they're spread too thin and they're not getting the time off that they need. They wonder why the recruitment goals are not being met. When you don't treat your people well, they go, okay, my 4 years is up or my 3 years is up. I'm out of here. I'm done with this crap. I'm not dealing with it anymore. So, no, it wasn't the Eisenhower. No, it wasn't the. It was one of the smaller ships, and I can't think of what it was. I think it was a destroyer. It was one of the destroyer. So, but yeah, we do not want to be spread too thin. Exactly, Billy the Kid, and that's what we've been doing for quite a while. We've been spread way too thin, and that's just not a good thing. It's just not a good thing, and it continues to happen. We continue to, not have our people back home where they belong. A lot of games going on, a lot of things being played that way, and that's just not good. So we got 430 in the chat. We're at 215, which is less than. Oh, I think that is half. So yeah, that is half. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I do appreciate it. It makes a big difference with the algorithms as well. So I appreciate it for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Please make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time. If you're not getting notifications, unsubscribe, subscribe again, re-hit the bell icon. Definitely check to see if you're not getting notifications. Folks, I live stream 3 days a week. I do Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, and I put up videos every single day. So if you all of a sudden are not seeing that I'm not putting any videos up, it's not because of me. It's because YouTube has unsubscribed you. So keep an eye on that as well. So, and I do appreciate that. Like I said, I do appreciate the support. Always Early says I didn't get notification. Yeah, and that's nonsense too. That goes on as well. If you're subscribed, then you should be getting notifications, unfortunately. So here's something that I want you guys to remember. Okay, you know, being prepared is a good thing. Obviously, the more prepared you are, the better you are to deal with whatever may happen. It's not going to be pleasant no matter what for anybody when things go sideways. I don't think that people realize how bad things can turn and how bad people will be to each other in that type of a situation. Guys, if you want to make a statement or say anything, all cap lock so it stands out for me, please. And I do appreciate that. So, our West Coast is vulnerable. Not as much as you would think. Not as much as you would think, Billy the Kid Norwood. I mean, if so, and I've said this before, guys, and I'm going to say this again. I do not ever foresee, in my opinion, a ground invasion in the United States until one of two things happens. Okay, they're not going to attack us because so many of us are armed and will fight for our country. So not only would they have to deal with the military, they would have to deal with the civilian population, and a lot of the civilian population is armed to the teeth. So it's not like we're not able to do something to protect what's ours. So again, until they can take away our our weapons, and they're actively trying to do that. You see that all the time. They're actively trying to take away our weapons. The only other way that I could ever foresee a ground invasion ever happening in the United States, if they did a grid down scenario here in the U.S. first, let us eat each other, okay, and that's the only way that would happen. You let us eat each other for a while because we would do that. There's no doubt about it, okay, and then you bring the forces in afterwards, after we had weakened ourselves to a point that we wouldn't be able to fight back as well. And that's the only way that could happen. The only way to beat the United States is go after our power grid, turn out the lights, and then sit back and wait. And they could sit back and wait for a year. And I'm telling you, all the analysis say that if the power went out and did not come back on, that within 1 year, 90% of the population would not be here anymore. So we would be much weaker if we had a lot less people. Now, I will tell you this, that 10% that was left, those would not be the people you would want to screw with. I can tell you right now, because you give it a year of dealing with adversity and having to do what you had to do to survive, that would be That would be something that you would not want to screw with those people. And I'll tell you, I will tell you, I just saw. I wanted to mention this too when I thought, and I was like, how crazy that they twist this, how crazy they twisted this. And the article was definitely super left leaning article. And they're talking about Elon Musk, and Elon Musk was talking about some colleges. There's some college. It's an all black college, and they're trying to get these people. The airlines are trying to recruit these, black people to be pilots. Okay, and and he was making a statement, in his opinion, of course, that they're not as educated, they're not as smart, their qualifications are not there. So here's my take, and I'm going to give you my take on this. Okay, I would not care if every pilot that we had in the country was Asian, if if they were the best qualified people to fly the planes. All right. That's who should be flying the planes, folks. Whoever the best qualified people to fly the planes should be the ones flying the planes. You shouldn't be getting an extra boost because you're a minority or you're a woman or whatever the case may be. That should not be a factor in you getting a job that is dealing with people's lives. Okay. So, again, if it meant that every pilot that we hired was Asian, okay, so what? I could care less. Oh, it wouldn't make any difference to me. If I get on a plane and I fly from point A to point B, I want it to be safe. I don't want the guy that barely got in there and got extra points because of you know affirmative action or whatever the case may be. And that's basically what Elon Musk was saying. But of course, they twisted it around. Oh, and he's a white supremacist, and he's this, and he's a racist, and he should be apologizing. And I'm so sick of that too. You make a statement, stand by what you say. Don't be a wussy. Don't back out. Don't be like, oh, I so sincerely apologize for saying what I said. I didn't mean it that way. That's nonsense. It's nonsense. But it happens all the time. And then we got to deal with it all the time. So it's craziness. Again, to me, the best qualified people, yeah, the DEI, yep, is just affirmative action with a different name. Exactly, Don. And it's bullcrap. Like I said, again, there's highly intelligent white people out there. There's highly intelligent black people out there. There's highly intelligent Asian people out there. There's highly intelligent Hispanic people out there. So if it's the best and the brightest, let them do it. Don't give somebody something, and so now you have the best and the brightest of this race because they didn't get an extra boost, and then you got a group of people that shouldn't be doing it. I'm sorry, no. The diversity in hiring DIH is at Boeing manufacturing plants too. Larry Fink of BlackRock stated uh, you have to FR. I don't know what that means. So it's crazy. It is crazy. I'm so tired of the nonsense. I really truly am. So my bro-in-law is a pilot and an alcoholic, but in a special AA just for pilots. Oh wow. Okay, well that happens too. That happened. Well, here's what I thought is interesting with pilots. I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I think the age that a pilot has to retire is 62. So the day you turn 62, or 62, 63, one of those in that range, okay? The day you turn that age, you never fly again for the airlines. So, they don't keep people around that are all of a sudden, wondering what their mental capacity may possibly be or if it's deteriorating and stuff like that. So, well, I'm not talking about private pilots, Billy the Kid Norwood. I'm talking about for the airlines. So, oh, there will be consequences. I gotcha. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And it should never be that way. It really shouldn't be. I talked to a guy. I'll give you a great example. We'll talk about affirmative action, okay? And this is a gentleman that retired that I took care of. I took care of him in the 90s, all right? And he was big shot in Kodak. He was the head of industrial relations in Kodak. He retired in 1968. And he told me, he said, Ed, I'm going to tell you right now, do you know why I retired? And I said, his name was Gene. And I go, no, Gene. I go, why did you retire? He said, they brought in affirmative action. He said, so we had to hire a certain percentage of this minority, that minority, and this and that. He said, we would catch them sleeping on the job, catch them sleeping, and couldn't fire them. Now, that to me is ridiculous. Now, again, if you do the job, you should have the job regardless. If you don't do the job, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be doing it. I'm going to tell you, in my experience throughout my life, and I will tell you just from my own personal experience that I have witnessed firsthand, certain groups, and I'm not going to name the groups, as soon as something doesn't go their way, all right, as soon as something doesn't go their way, here's my race card. Here's my race card, right? Hey, Billy the Could Norwood, thank you very much for the donation. They will pull that race card out every single time as soon as something doesn't go their way. And then the management will back off and they'll be, oh, no, 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 no. Because they don't want to deal with the issues of it. So to me, I mean, but yet, if you are this color, if you look like me, screw you, you're done. They don't care. And it's okay to discriminate against white people. So that's just the way it is, folks. We're 472 in the chat, guys. We got 267 on the thumbs up. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. Also, again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. So definitely appreciate it for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. Now, like I said, and so because I just said what I just said, people will probably go, oh, Prepper Nurse One, he's a racist. No, you know what Prepper Nurse One is? Prepper Nurse One is reality based. That's what Prepper Nurse One is. There's good and bad in every single race out there, folks. And if you do the job, you should keep the job. If you don't do the job, you should be out the door, regardless. No special treatment, no special benefits, none of that nonsense. This country's come a long way. And I understand why affirmative action was put in place, okay? Because was there discrimination? Absolutely, yes, there was. Absolutely, yes, there was. We're way past that now, okay? Way past that. Here's a question that I have, and I'm gonna throw this out there, and I'm gonna throw a couple of questions out there. All right. Who of you have heard of BET? Who of you have heard of BET, which is Black Entertainment Television? Who has heard of that? Right? I'm just yes or no in the comments, guys. Have you heard of BET? Yes or no? Okay, so a lot of you have heard of it. Yep. Okay. So here's one for you. How many of you have heard of WIT, which is what? Or no, WET. I'm sorry, WET. White Entertainment Television. How many of you have heard of entertainment television? So have you heard of white entertainment television? No, there is no white entertainment television. We are not allowed to have white entertainment television. Not allowed to happen, okay? But you can have BET. Are there all, so here's the next question that I have. Are there all black colleges out there? Are there all black colleges out there? No white people allowed, just black folks in the college. Are there, have you heard of those? Right? Okay. Yes, you have. Of course you have. How many white college only colleges have you heard about? Are they out there now? Do we have whites only college? Is that there? Right? No, it is not. No, it is not. It's not there because that's not allowed. So my question is it not racist to have BET in black only colleges? Oh, or if you guys saw recently, they had that dinner that was no whites allowed dinner. It was only people of color allowed to have that one Christmas party somewhere. Is that not racist? I'm just curious. These are just questions that I have, folks. Just questions that I have. Is it racist or not? I absolutely believe it's very racist. Okay. Why is it okay for one group of people to have something that everybody else can't do? That's all I'm asking. So, right? So, so racism is racism. There's no such thing, excuse me, as reverse racism. Just so you know, okay? No, no such thing as reverse racism. Racism is racism. Period. And if there is a group of people that are excluding another group of people from entertaining or being involved with or participating in an event because they're saying that it's only that, that's racist. And just putting that out there. And yes, Larry, egg count. Okay. So just my thoughts, just some questions that I had. So hopefully that makes you think. All right. How many eggs today here at the homestead? And yes or no, did the white hen lay today? So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses up and we will go from there. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so again to show support. I do appreciate that. Again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms as well. And I thank you for that reason as well. All right. So if you had, and I was actually surprised how quickly the right answer came up, I'll be honest with you, because I didn't think that the right answer would come up for a while. But if you had the same exact guess as Carol Prince with one egg today and no for the white hen, then you are 100% correct. I think it was the winds and it was much colder today, and I think that was a big factor in there. So congratulations to Carol Prince. You are the winner. You've won absolutely nothing, but you are happy. Excuse me, you are happy about it. So, yeah, the weather I think was a huge factor today in why we only ended up with one egg today. But they've been pretty steady. They've been pretty steady. Yeah, Carol goes, yeah, dinner exactly. So, congratulations to you on that. I'm going to tell you another quick story, and then we will move on. So I used to live in North Carolina, and I worked at a psychiatric hospital in a town called Butner, North Carolina. So anybody from North Carolina knows exactly where I'm talking about. I don't even know if the hospital is even open anymore, but back then, this was in the 90s, it was open. I worked with the staffing was 80% black, 20% white. Okay. All your upper management at that time was all white. All the upper management was white. There was not one black supervisor, none of that. Okay. Now, I started dating a girl from the hospital that I worked with. I worked on night shift. She worked on evening shift. She caught my eye. I caught her eye. We started talking. And she told me this. She said, first time I saw you, I said, man, that guy's cute, but he's probably a redneck and he's probably racist. Well, she found out that it wasn't. This young lady was black, just so you know, not, I've always been like this, guys. All right. And she even said to me when we started dating, she goes, what, did you just want to try a black girl? And I said to her at the time, I said, I wish you wouldn't say that. I said, because when I looked at you, I saw a beautiful woman. I said, I didn't care about what color you were. I said, I was attracted to you because of you, not because of what skin color you had or anything like that. Um, to me, I take people on an individual basis. If you are cool with me, I'm going to be cool with you. If you are an a-hole, folks, I don't care what color you are, I'm not going to have nothing to do with you. And that's just the way I roll. That's the way I've always rolled. Okay. And I just don't care. So, um, be a decent human being and we're going to have no problems. Be respectful. We're going to have no problems. But unfortunately, a lot of people look at that as a factor in how they treat people, how they act around people, and stuff like that. At massive windstorm Tuesday knocked out the grid up here. Power still out across the region, but being prepared makes things a whole lot better. 80K man, absolutely, brother, absolutely, and I agree with you 100%. It makes a difference, and that's why being prepared is not about that you're a conspiracy theorist or you're waiting for the end of the world to happen. What preparing is about is whatever may happen. That's what preparing is about. The unknown factors that we don't know about. It's a form of insurance, right? And so to me, it's just prudent. It's just smart. And I never could understand why people didn't prep. It made no sense to me. It never has, and it never will. It's just, because then what happens is when something goes down, now people are scrambling. A good example would be, right. So I told you guys, I think I talked about it maybe in the earlier video I did today. I have 4 generators here at the homestead, folks. 4 of them, and so to me, it's like that redundancy is important. All right, I'm prepared. So if one of my generators go down, 1 is none, 2 is 1. If you have 1 generator and that generator goes down, now you have no generator. With, especially in the wintertime, I need to utilize my generator. Now today, I'll give you an example. I ran my generator for 2.5 hours. Topped off my batteries. My batteries were at 94%. I'll be good to go until tomorrow afternoon. Now, I think tomorrow they're calling for sunshine, even though it's going to be colder. And so the batteries will top off on their own tomorrow. So that'll be a good thing, But, that generator is there. It has a purpose. It's a tool. Um, you have an emergency happen, right? Power goes out. 80K man right now is dealing with a power outage in his region of the country up in New York. Well, you know what happens when the power goes out? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there is running to the store to buy that generator, uh, you know, and that's what they do because they wait to the last minute. I talked to a guy the other day, just talked to him the other day. He said, yeah, the power went out, and my parents are older, and I was like, it's time to get a generator. So he bought a generator. It just makes sense, But how do the lithium batteries hold up in the brittle freeze? My battery room is very, very insulated. Number one, Billy the Kid Norwood. I have the old style lights in there, so they kick off heat. So that battery room really doesn't go below 50 degrees, and so that's that's how that works. So it works. Is warm enough. If you keep the area warm enough, you're not going to have an keep the area warm enough, then you're going to have an issue. That's just it. So the more prepared you are, the better off you're going to be. Again, I prepared that battery room because I know those lithium ion batteries are my lifeblood of the homestead so that I have power. So I need to make sure that I take care of them. If they get below a certain temperature, it could destroy the batteries. So lithium won't work well below 15 degrees or require a heating pad. Never used the heating pad, 80K man. Last year, and anybody that watches the channel knows I went through a stretch last year where I had 3 days where we had sub-zero temperatures down here, and the batteries were fine because that battery room is very, it's designed to be warmer, and yeah, and inverters and charge controllers put off heat as well. But if you have, that room, and like I said, that's why I have light bulbs in there to kick off extra heat, because they will kick off heat. And you keep the room sealed up and you're good to go. It makes all the difference in the world. It really, really does. So, again, proper planning, right? Make sure you don't have piss poor performance, and that's why you do the things that you do. Yep, I drew blood on that building. Yes, I did. I have the scar right there. You see that scar going through my hand around there? That's from that building. Yep. So, no, I definitely bled for that building. That was not a fun day. But, and again, that lesson, honestly, and see, here's the thing that I don't think a lot of people get. Everything that happens, positive or negative, right? Positive or negative, is a learning lesson, right? It's a learning lesson. So you make a mistake and you hurt yourself, right? You're going to end up with scars. You're going to end up with scars. It happens, okay? But you learn from that, hopefully, right? You learn from that, you hope, and you don't do it again. So every mistake that you make, you learn from it, and you go, okay, that was stupid. I made a mistake. I wasn't prepared the way I should have been prepared. And you just don't repeat that mistake. And that's one of the reasons why, folks, I'll tell you on this channel, that I will always share my screw ups. And I will tell you what, I catch a lot of flack, a lot, because I share my screw ups. Okay. But I think that it's important, those screw ups, because I will guarantee you this, there'll be channels that you guys will go on and you'll never see a mistake. Everything is perfect, everything works perfectly, nothing ever goes wrong, because they don't show it. They're not going to show it. They're not going to say to you, hey, I gaffed, you know what I mean? I screwed up, and this is what I did wrong, and this is what I want to make sure you don't do wrong. And that's why I think that it's important to share those mistakes. People can say, honestly, I'll tell you what, folks, I'm dealing with it for years. They can say whatever the heck they want to say about me. I could care less. Okay. Every mistake I've made, I have made that mistake how many times? How many times? I've made that mistake one time. And I will tell you why. Because I went, man, that was stupid. And I never did it again. And I made sure that I was prepared accordingly for that particular event or instance. One of the things that I learned, honestly, when I hurt my hand, when I cut that up like that, I have a ton of these bandages, right? You see these bandages, roll gauze bandages. Had a ton of them. I thought, man, I got so many of these. I'm good to go. I don't have to worry about it. When I cut my hand and I did that, and I was changing that bandage out twice a day and cleaning that scar twice a day. And of course, yes, no, I never did go to the hospital for it. Should I maybe have gotten stitches? Maybe. But I took care of it myself because that's what I do. Um, I realized there's no way I had enough. And so to me, again, even though I hurt myself and I took care of it, I realized medical supplies wise, I was not as prepared as I should have been. And I think that that's really important. That's definitely something that I want to encourage you guys not to make those mistakes. When you think you have enough medical supplies, this is my advice to you. Okay. When you think you are, I got plenty of medical supplies, double it, double what you have, because you don't. One emergency, one person getting hurt can deplete a great deal of your medical supplies, and you don't realize it. No, I never got a tetanus shot, JJ. No, no, I never got a tetanus shot. But you learn, And of course, when I hurt myself, I was up on top of a ladder, right, painting the peak on the back side of the battery room, and ended up having to jump off, because I grabbed onto the roof and I sliced my hand, as I was sliding off, falling. And so of course then you let go. When you hurt yourself, you let go. And I ended up jumping to the ground and rolling and realizing, oh crap, I cut myself pretty good. It could have been a lot worse. I could have broken a leg. Anything could have happened. And there was nobody here except for me. So that was before Steve moved up here. And so again, you really, you have to be careful. You have to think ahead. You have to plan ahead. Yeah, and but we do what we do. So stereo strips have one in handy many times here. Yeah. Oh yeah, they come in very handy. Yeah, it's just Steve's doing good. He's doing fine. When we do our weekends, when everybody comes, he keeps a pretty low profile. We don't see him very much. He stays in his place, so it's just that's what he does, and that's okay. You know, but things go sideways. Well, he's part of the group by default. So, uh, all right, get this out here. Time to do some shout outs. So before we do shout outs, again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so. Show support for the channel again. I really do appreciate it. It makes a huge difference with the algorithms again. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, guys, make sure if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Hit that bell icon. Get all notifications that way. And I do, of course, always like, comment, and share as well. If you see a video that you like, if you thought I did a good job on it, share it. I have no problem with that. So thank you so much, and I do appreciate that. All right, we're gonna start out with Heavenly Hills. What are we at? We at 326. Let's say 375. And if we hit 400, that would be a bonus. But we only got like 19 minutes, so we're at 326. So the goal is going to be 375, which is kind of a big number, but we'll see what we can do. So let's keep those thumbs up coming and see if we can hit that goal. All right. We start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead, growing giant vegetables. Ryan's a good guy. Definitely go and show him some support, and I do appreciate that. You have Icky Can up in Canada doing his thing up there. Real good guy as well. Living off grid almost as long as I have been, a year less than me, and but he's thing up there really cool to watch that. You have Angry Prepper, which is Jason down in New York City. Jason's a great guy. Be an asset to anybody's group, in my opinion, and a lot of respect for Jason. There is Alaska Prepper. That's Rudy up in Canada, or not Canada. He's up in Alaska because he's Alaska. Real good guy, very down to earth channel. I like Rudy. I think he's a squared away dude. So definitely go show him some support as well. There's Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel, and also My Self Reliance, two different channels, same guy. A lot of good information on his channels. Definitely worth showing him some support. Master Builder, living off grid up in Canada. There is Demcat. I like Demcat a lot as well. Another very down to earth guy. A lot of good information on his channel. You have Corporal's Corner. There's Bjorn Hansen. We have the 80K man up in the Adirondacks right now dealing with a power outage, but prepared for it, which is important. We have Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. It's a very interesting story. Definitely worth a listen to. You have Marfugal News, Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle doing their thing out there. Definitely go show them some support as well. Even though Dax lives in Georgia, but he's part of Adam's channel. We got Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star. That is Cody, another good guy. A lot of great information on his channel as well. There's Red Poppy Ranch. You have Survival Lily coming at us out of Europe, giving us all the latest information of what's happening there. You have Kyle's Cabin, Kyle and Sierra, up in Minnesota, living off grid, doing their thing up there. Nice young couple. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband-wife team, two different channels. Definitely worth to listen to with them. A lot of good information there. You have Green Greg's, another good channel. Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. Definitely worth a listen to. You have Gray Man Prepping. There's Truly Tara 76. She does makeup videos. Nice lady. So definitely show her some support over there. There is Doug and Stacy. Great information on their channel. They've been around a long time. Also, definitely show them support. You have the nomadic movement. Hey, Green Greggs, how you doing tonight, buddy? Glad to have you here. You have the nomadic movement down in Panama. There is the Green Dream Project out in Arizona, showing you what it's like to live in the desert, what you need to do to survive out there. There is Camping with Steve Wallace doing stealth camping. Definitely very fun to watch him. He's up in Canada doing that. There's Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time, and so definitely show her some support. Good channel there. You have Boss of the Swamp. He's been around a long time. Another master builder. Definitely worth listening to. Definitely like what he's doing on his channel. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond's a great guy, very down to earth. So definitely check him out as well. I got to cross this one off because somebody said Ice Age Farmer is not making videos anymore, if I'm correct on that. So I'm going to go ahead and cross him off because if he's not making videos, there's no reason to give him a shout out. So we have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Definitely good person there. Definitely worth checking her out as well. Straight shooter. Okay. We have City Prepper. There's Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer. Watching what's going on with the sun and sunspots and everything like that. Definitely worth a listen to. You have Bear Independent, the Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear down in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News. Mary Greeley giving you all the latest of what's going on with Yellowstone and everything else as far as earthquakes and volcanoes. Very good information on her channel. You have Adapt 2030. There is Malachi's Corner. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall is a great guy, very passionate about the weather. He gives back to the community in a huge way as well. Definitely worth a listen to. So a lot of respect for him because he does give back in a big, big way. There is Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand. He gives you the information. He lets you decide what you want to do with that information. He doesn't tell you what to think. He lets you think. He just gives you the information. There is Deep South Homestead, another really good channel, very family-friendly channel. You have The Outsider up in Maine. There is Betting on Alaska, a nice young man that is bush radical and girl in the woods son, uh, trying to live off grid up in Alaska. Nice young man, definitely worth a listen to. You have The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. You have Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. Definitely worth to listen to. You should definitely try to glean some information off that channel. There is The Prepared Mind. You have Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. There's East Tennessee Preparedness. You have the Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. Again, another good channel. A lot of good information there as well. A lot of good channels out there. Again, I do believe we should be supporting each other. I think that is important to do so. So I would highly encourage all of you to, we all look at things differently, and I think that that's important. So what do we have? 347 on the thumbs up. So the goal is 375. So let's let's get there. Okay, we're getting closer. 27 away from 375. So let's keep those thumbs up coming and see how close we can get. And if we can go over, that would be great. So I do appreciate that. Again, guys, I'm always going to continue to encourage you to prep, to get ready, take care of your own business. Do not rely on the government to take care of you. They will not be there to take care of you when it is the worst case type of a scenario. Even if you're having a natural disaster, sometimes it takes a while for that help to get there. So helping yourself by being as prepared as you possibly can be gives you in such a huge advantage over other people. It really, truly does. So we're at 351. So we're 24 thumbs up away now, guys. 24 thumbs up to get us to 375. So But yeah, so it's just again, do the best you can, be as ready as you can be when the time comes. You know, that is where we're at. I have to mention this because I thought that this was funny the other day. I talk about trying to be stealthy when you're preparing. If you live in suburbia, if you live in an apartment, you know, you don't want to advertise your business. Now, I advertise my business. I'm on here all the time, but I feel like it's almost like my obligation to try to educate people, teach people, to show them that this is a lifestyle that is possible, easy lifestyle, but it's absolutely something that is possible. And I think that it is important to share that information. Now, again, you know, I have met some tremendous people through YouTube. I've dealt with some a-holes through YouTube as well, but that's part of what you deal with. The majority of people that I have dealt with are awesome. So you're always going to get people that are jealous or bitter, or you know, they think they're superior or whatever their hang up is. You're always going to get that. And then I don't care what job you're into. You're probably dealing with something like that at work as well. That's just part of what happens in life. So to me, I think it's important to try to help people as much as I can. That's why I do what I do, and that's why I put myself out here. You know, sometimes to my own detriment, to be honest with you. But anyway, what are we at? We're at 312 in the chat still. We're at 358. So we are 17 away, guys. 17 away from 375 for the thumbs up. So let's keep them coming and let's see if we can hit that number. That would be very, very cool. All right, let's do this right now. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? So let's do that. We have Philip in Melbourne, Australia in the house, Larry in Omaha, Nebraska, west coast of Florida with Kit, Austin, Texas with Billy the Kid Norwood, Sean the Englishman from Chatham, Ontario, Canada, Anderson, South Carolina with Little Stumper, Franklin County, Ohio. We have Central Iowa with Robert, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. My brain went dead for a second. Dave in Ontario, Canada, Missouri in the Ozarks with Delbert, Hillsboro, Oregon with Chewy, Tucson, Arizona with Angela, the UP of Michigan with Dawn, BC, Canada with Emil, also BC, Canada with Kathy. We have Dwindle, Virginia with Mr. Black Cat, North Central Iowa with Ace. We have Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster, Charlotte County, Florida with Gloria. We got Chicago in the house, Sumter, South Carolina with Bernie, Morning Light with West Virginia, Dust Devil in Texas, Broken Dolly down in Tennessee, Tooney, Alabama, / Snowflake, Arizona. Okay. Are you going back and forth now, buddy? Orlando, Florida with Tina West, or are you hanging out there? We have Ireland is in the house with Full of Hope. Thank you for staying up late with us. East Central Illinois with Ranger. Always Early with Tennessee in the house. White Mountain, Arizona with Emil. Gatlinburg, Tennessee with Crystal. Kearney, Nebraska with DJ. West Central Ohio with Dale. Waterloo, New York with Sharon. So again, guys, we are all over the freaking place. We got Troy, North Carolina with Maverick. Cape Cod, Mass is in the house. Portland, Connecticut with Donald. We're a huge network. We're all over the place. We are a huge family. Rex, Logan, West Virginia with Prepping with Rex. We got George's in the house with TJ. We got Joe in Florida. All over the country, all over the world. We're the ones that truly can make a difference. We got Carol in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Union City, Pennsylvania with Richard. Roanoke, Virginia with Dustin. And again, you know, like I said, we're the ones that can make a difference now by trying to educate people, trying to help people. And I think it's important that we continue to try to do that. Also, we can make a difference after an event by being able to help people. I think it's important that we should try to do that. That's just my opinion. You know, you have to make your own choices on that, but you still have to keep yourself and your family safe. So there's tough decisions are going to have to be made. That's honest. So we got 365. We need 10 more thumbs up, guys. 10 more thumbs up. We reach our goal of 375. So let's keep them coming, and I appreciate that. Now we're 9 away. We're at 366. So, but you know, yeah, take care of yourselves because you never know when somebody may need help. I think it's important that we try to do that. You know what I mean? I really do. That's just again, strictly my opinion. If we can help people, I think it's important that we do so. But again, you can't save everybody. You can't help everybody. That's a fact. So we're at 371. We need 4 more thumbs up, guys. 4 more thumbs up, and we got our goal of 375. It's going to be chilly. I'm going to encourage you guys, if you're out and about, be safe. Stay out of the bad weather if you can possibly do so. Don't travel if you don't necessarily have to, especially if the road conditions are not good and it's super, super cold. Be as safe as you possibly can be. I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping this chat clean. Very much appreciated what you guys do, ladies and gentlemen, who moderate for me. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. It really, truly does. I appreciate all your guys' support as well. I enjoy these chats. I think they're a lot of fun, and it's nice to have everybody coming together and working together. I think that's awesome. So very much appreciated for all of that. I really am. So keep prepping, keep taking care of your business. Remember, folks, we really truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we figure that one out, we will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us using race, religion, political affiliation. All of that means nonsense. It really doesn't. It means nothing. But yet people are going to play games all the time, and it's unnecessary. They have us fighting over scraps while they're raking it in, which is dumb. If we come together, they would have to listen. They really would. So, anyway, also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So, it's really, really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, folks, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, the only person that is going to stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else. Hold on one second. If you stay away from the negativity, set realistic goals, and then set about to making them happen, anything can happen. And that's the way it is. Stay away from people that tell you what you cannot accomplish. They're bitter, they're sad, they've given up on life, and they want to try to bring you down with them. Don't let them do it. Succeed in spite of them. The best thing that you could ever do is when somebody tells you what you can't accomplish, is just do it. And you don't even have to go back to them and say, "Oh yeah, what about the fact that I did it?" You don't have to do that because what I say, when you've done it, that's it. So it's as simple as that. So we blew past the goal. We're at 384, which is awesome. So I thank you guys for that. Appreciate it. So anyway, guys, listen. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We're going to get some stuff done here tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to be working on the bunker this weekend or not. We're going to have to see. But there's other things that are kind of a little higher on the list. Yeah, Steve still rides his bike. So anyway, be safe. I will see you all the next time. I will see you later. Have a great night. I will be live streaming again on Sunday, so definitely check us out on Sunday night. All right. When I say us, I mean me and Miss Hella. All right. You guys have a great night and have a safe weekend. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.